What's going on, guys? This is Damien from the Lookout, and I'm here with like one of the most insane deck profiles ever. I'm here with Sylvain, who took 7th place on the French regionals with Raditz. Out of all things, Raditz. Congratulations! How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you, Damien. Thank you. I'm doing fine. Happy
Man,
to be here.
yeah, man, happy to have you here. I am so excited for this deck profile. I have million questions. First off, can you please let the viewers know why did you pick Reddit of all things?
Yes, Raditz is one of my favorite leader since it came out in BT7. I used to play it quite regularly, and I was like, okay, maybe for this tournament I can go back to Summon Destruction because thing is I'm a green player. I always play green, so green is quite bad at the moment. So I know there is going to be some very tough matchups, but I'm going to have fun anyway, destructing hands. So I know that people are not siding Dabras and things like that against end destruction. So let's give it a try.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, we are here in Creative View. We'll go over the deck card by card. First off, starting with the leader. So, can you, for our viewers, quickly just go over the basics of the leader?
Yeah. So the leader is really based on the hand destruction. When he attacks on both sides, the opponent has to warp one card from the hand. Um, Additionally, on the awakened side, if there are 4 non-black cards in the warp, the leader gains critical for the turn. So each attack will warp one card from the opponent's hand. The leader never draws. On the front side, he has an activate main that's quite interesting. You can top 5 search for Vegeta, Nappa, or Raditz, green or red. Well, here red doesn't matter. It can be any cost. You add it to your hand, and if you do so, you have to discard one card. And you awaken when you have a Unison with an energy cost of 3, or when you have 4 or less life. And when he awakens, things are interesting because as I said, it can have critical on attacks. So it's always very good when you're trying to manage the hand of the opponent. And he has a very good skill that usually is your finisher. You can, at the beginning of your main phase, it's an auto, so you don't have, you have to do it at the beginning of your main phase. If you don't do it now, you can do it for the rest of the turn. So you have to think, okay, that's my main phase. Am I going to do the auto now, or am I going to pass for the turn? And it says you can send 4 non-black cards from your opponent warp at the bottom of the deck. And if you do that, your leader gets triple attack. So it means if you attack first, when you will first attack, the opponent will warp one card from the hand. So this is one Spartan. The opponent is not going to warp 3 cards because you have triple attack. He's going to warp only once for the first attack. But if the opponent still has 4 or more non-black cards in their hand, in their warp, then your leader will be triple attack critical. So this is a really good game ender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Triple attack, critical, just denying cards from the life to
Exactly.
the hand. Yeah,
Exactly.
crazy disruption. So, guys, let's go over the cards in the deck. First card is the Super Combo. 4
Yes.
copies of Vegeta the Lone Prince.
So why this super combo? Because it's a Vegeta, so you can search it with the leader, with the active main of the leader, and because you can still play it for 1 energy, and when it's played, the opponent discard 1 card. So it's very useful in this deck. 4 because I don't think I need Paragus or Gohan. I think this one is better. The fact that it's searchable is very nice, especially against red.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. You can grab it with your leader's front side.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine playing Paragus over this. Like so. Then next up we have the one drop. 4 copies of Raditz Ruthless Adversary.
So this is another card you can
Mhm.
grab with your leader because
Mhm.
it's a Raditz. And this is a very good card for drawing. What it says is when it's played, you either choose. So you choose either you can take a life and KO a one drop. I've never done it. I think in my own life,
Yeah, that's too weak.
my entire life.
No.
But the second thing is much better. You can draw one card for each 2 non-black cards in the opponent warp. So it's not useful at the early game because of course the opponent will not have many cards in their warp. But in later turns, it can be very powerful, especially if the opponents make the mistake of playing an overrealm, because then he probably has, I don't know, 15 cards in their warp and just run Raditz, and you're like drawing 6-7 cards. It's crazy. Very nice for um, for the later turn.
Yeah, especially versus some of these decks now, like some of these decks which really have massive drops because everything draws so much.
Yeah.
Everything just discards combos, sends to warp, sends to the drop. So yeah, when they finally overwhelm, it's like half of their deck is in the warp at that point.
It works perfectly fine with SS4 Gogeta.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because when they play the secret rare, then if you survive, of course, but if you survive, then it's fine. Any Raditz will draw you maybe 10 cards, so it's you've won at this point if you're not dead by their turn 4.
if you're not dead, keep that in
Yeah,
mind, guys. So that's the
of
secret of
course.
winning with green. If you're not dead, you may win next turn. Then this one, okay, I don't know what this one is. So 2 copies of Mighty Strike Prince of Destruction Vegeta.
Yes.
So it's counterattack. Negate the attack. Play this card. Look at top 7. You grab a Unison. So specified cost of 3. And it's a servant. It's like 25k counterattack.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In this deck, it feels bad when you don't have your Unison on turn 3. It feels bad because you can't awaken and you're weak and it's awful. So if you are on turn 2, you still don't have one, but you have this Mighty Strike Prince of Destruction Vegeta in hand. It can be interesting to keep it for negating the first attack, well, any attack during the opponent turn, and try to grab one Unison for your turn 3. And usually, because you'll see I play 6 Unisons, usually if I still don't have a Unison on turn 2, this one will get me one of the Unisons. Usually, it almost never fail.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a
Mm-hmm.
servant, it doesn't really matter.
Hmm.
Usually I combo it or I will attack a battle card. I don't care.
Okay, then now is the big staple of hand destruction. 4 copies of Rebrand Punishing. Like you
Yeah,
need to play this. You're playing hand
yeah, of
destruction.
course.
There's no excuses. Like
No,
that's
yeah, it's very good, and of course your leader will make you discard one if you grab a Vegeta or a Raditz. You have to discard one, so Rebrand is a perfect target for that. Um, um, I wouldn't recommend to use the activate main of Rebrand on turn 2 because usually it doesn't work well. Uh, I'd rather advise you to pay 2 for a Great Ape, so we'll see just later. Um, but Rebrian in later turn, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, with all of these decks drawing so much, yeah, don't do this turn 2, guys. Don't do this.
Yeah,
Do this
yeah,
instead. 4 copies of Ape. So I would suspect that, I haven't played Raditz in my life, but I would suspect that, this is your way of balancing the fact that your leader can't actually draw.
yeah. That's right. Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Um, well, it depends of if you are first player or second player. But if you're first player, it's okay to pay 2 on your turn 2 for a Great Ape Son Goku. If you're a second player, usually keep your 2 energy to defend, because the turn 3 of your opponent is going to be messy if you don't have any energy to defend yourself. But Goku and Rebrand, I mean, from turn 4 and onwards, you can do one of them each turn, and you will create the difference.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, these are your 2 cost sent from drop to warp cards. Then we are entering the Unison territory with 3 copies of Nappa. This is the in archetype Unison, the one which came out with the leader.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's super nice Unison. Costs 3, so it helps your weekend, of course. It has a +1 activate main. The opponent warp 1 card from their hand, so it's super good. It helps you reach the critical and later your auto on the leader, I mean. So +1 is really good. You destroy the hand, and the fact that it's going to warp instead of drop era is it's better, because usually the cards are kind of lost when they are in the warp. So +1 is very nice. I always do +1. I never do the -2 or -3. Almost never, except maybe 1 times out of 20 or 50. I don't know. +1 is really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So yeah,
this is a Unison you want to see against blue or yellow, because they're not too aggressive, so you can set up your strategy, and you can rip the hand little by little. So against blue and yellow, that's the one you want to see. Against red is not very useful, especially like SS4 Gogeta. The guy has maybe 15 cards in hand. It doesn't matter if he sends one of them in their warp. It's not very useful. So against red, I'd recommend the other Unison.
yeah, let's check out the anti-red. I mean, against red Unison. 3 copies of Meta Cooler Terrifying Horde. So
Yeah.
I was just like when I saw this, because I knew about the NEPA, and I know a bit about this Metacooler one, but I was completely unprepared for this one. Like I was like, what the hell is happening here? So yeah, what's the deal with this one, and why is it so good against red?
Uh, as I said, I was training with the deck, and I felt like Nappa was not good enough against red, and I was like, is there another Unison that can help me? And I stumbled across this one in my collection, and I said, why not? It's a 3 cost, so it's all good. It helps your weekend and so. Uh, the +1 is actually really nice. You discard 1 card, you draw 2. You can discard any color, so it doesn't have to be green, so you can discard a Great Ape Son Goku, for example. But most of all, when you're against red, you are in such pressure, or you are under pressure, really, you are under pressure very early, and you don't want dead cards in hand. You don't want them. So +1 is a good way to get rid of the dead cards and draw 2 more cards. Drawing cards feels much better than discarding 1 card from the opponent hand. It feels better because you might see your super combo, your counter attack, your way to defend. Because the thing is, against red, you just want to survive. You want to survive at any cost, And if you do, and it's very hard, but if you do, then later turn, you should have the advantage. So I believe Metal Cooler uh, is more efficient than Nappa against this kind of decks. The +1, well, I always did the +1. I never did the -4. -4 is you're playing 3 tokens. Can be nice, but I never did it.
Yeah, no.
And one thing is, the Unison has also an activate main that you can create one Metal Cooler token. It's for free. One each turn you can pop one, and this token can actually be used in a combo for 5k. It might not be impressive, but sometimes it feels very good to be able to combo with this Unison to be 20k, or with your leader, or just another attack. Still against red, usually people play a Gogeta Unison, so it's still another attacker to kill the Gogeta. This as well feels better than just 20k attacker with Nappa.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah, so these are guys, these are the Unisons, and then we have some hand destruction here. 2 copies of Cell's Kamehameha, Earth Destroying Kamehameha. It's an old card. It's basically, if your leader is green, you activate battle, you give one of your leader or battle cards 15k, and then your opponent also discards one.
Yeah, and you choose the card they discard.
Yeah.
They're not. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nothing to say about this card. It's really nice. Usually I use it defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Almost never offensively, because I don't want to waste. It's not a waste, but I don't want to spend cards in hand when I attack.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's like you said, with the ability to not draw so much, it's better defensively and just not waste cards. Then this is one of the staples in green right now. Kaioken Son Goku the Furious, 15k critical, so this works pretty well with the leader. And you discard one when you play. Your opponent discards one. So and he enters for 1.
Yeah,
pretty good card.
Basically, it's 1 cost, discard 2.
Yeah,
most of the time. So 1 cost, discard 2 is very good. So in later game, when the opponent doesn't have any more hand to defend, so it's also a good way to start ripping the opponent life, because it's critical. Just 1 cost, really nice. I never use the active battle to give him plus 10k. I think it's not very useful.
Yeah.
We're playing green, not blue, so energy are very important.
Then we have this one. 3 copies of the newest cooler promo. This is the Champ Pack cooler promo. Why? How? I mean, I personally play cooler and with more of a hand destruction, and I've been trying to pull this one off. Didn't really work in cooler, and I haven't really seen it anywhere else. So I'm pretty excited to hear your thought process and your impressions of this card.
My impressions is this is one of the best green card I've seen in a long time.
Nice.
No, yeah, it's everything is good in this card. Double strike 20k, barrier, so it's kind of hard to remove. Only 2 energy, no requirement. Only you have to have 3 energy, but a part of that you have no requirement. Only pay 2. And of course, the auto when it attacks, the opponent discard 1, or you KO one of their battle card. You choose. Just that is very nice. Usually, I play it to clear the board. Usually, I will attack one of their battle card, and auto I will pop another one.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's how I play it, or it's really good against Unisons as well. You attack a Unison, removing 2 markers and KOing something else. Really, it's good. Furthermore, the activate main limit one. If you have a Z battle card with an energy cost of 2 or more in play, you can switch this card in active mode. This is really good, like when you have maybe 5 or 6 energy, to apply very nice pressure on your opponent. Especially if you play Frieza Z battle card. The 2 brothers, they work perfectly well together because you will rip 3 cards from their hand, and they have to deal with 3 attacks, 3 double striker attacks. Sometimes just that, and you win the game.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking like what to combine it with. I know that some people are saying like, well, you use Jiren, but like you said, like in this strategy, Frieza much better.
Much better. And Frieza, really, I don't like this battle card. I don't like the Frieza. No. But with the cooler, really, try it, Damian. Try it, and you'll see it's really nice.
I'll definitely try it. I'll definitely give this a go. Then we have 1 copy of SS4 Vegeta Fainted Greeting. So you don't see this one so often anymore. It's a 30k overwhelm 6. When you play it, your opponent warps 1 from their hand.
Yeah. Usually when you play it, you will probably do 1 damage to your opponent. Very probably. Because 30k, it's hard to defend when your hand is low. You will still warp 1 card from the hand, so it's always good. And usually against hand destruction, opponents don't keep counterattacks in their hand because it's more often than not it's dead cards. Because as you can see, I don't have a lot of attacks. I attack really late. During at least 3 turns, I never attack, almost never, except for the leader. So there are a good chance that the opponent will not negate the attack, have a hard time to deal with 30k, and of course we'll have to warp what card for hand. I just play 1 overwhelm because sometimes I want to keep my drop area with all the Rebrands and the Great Ape that I still did not have played, used, I mean.
Yeah.
So I want to do the overwhelm very late.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to accidentally lose your hand destruction or draw.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Then we are moving to, this one. So I also have 2 copies of this one. I actually ended up, the more I've been playing green lately, unless I'm running into red, I have been sideboarding this one. But I see 2 copies in the main board of the Son Gohan rare. So what's with that? How come you're main boarding 2 copies? You're expecting to run into a lot of Unison heavy decks, or?
Not really. I like this card because it can be used either way, or as a Unison destructor. So it's really nice against Gamma. It's really nice against this damn Gogeta. But it can also be used as a battle card, and it's still a 25k deflect critical. When it's played, you KO something, any cost. It feels good in the deck. It's critical. It's 25k. It kills something. Really, it's good card.
Yeah. Then we have. We'll just run over standard. No point in talking much about this. It's Frieza, charismatic villain. 3 copies of homicidal clones. 3 copies of dormant. Because this is the package that you run in every deck.
Sure.
2 copies of Kamehameha Deflection. This one is phenomenal. This
It's
one
really
is
good.
so good.
I need to say
Yeah.
shout out to the LATAM player who played Gotenks on final. You streamed it,
Yeah.
and he used this card, and I was like, oh, he didn't play it. Well, he plays it, even though he's not playing Goku GT, and it was really good. So now I'm just main decking 2 of them in each of my green decks.
I understand you. I put them in my green decks as well. Also works very well against Majin Vegeta too. That one also has a
Oh
almost
yeah.
everything spore drop.
Oh yeah.
And now one of the ones that I had the most questions about. What the hell is this? So 3 copies of King Cold Hail to the King. If you don't know, guys, what it does, I've zoomed it in, but I'm just gonna read it quickly. 4 cost 15k counter attack. You negate the attack and you play him. Permanent. For each green Unison in your Unison area or drop, reduce his cost in hand by 1. So at minimum he is 2, because of 2 specified. And when he's played, your opponent can't attack unless they discard 1 each time. So how and why? I mean, like, I'm playing Cooler and I'm not running this at all. So I'm like, what's happening here?
I play Cooler as well, and I'm not running it into Cooler because 2 cost is too heavy in Cooler. But I had to find a way to end turns, to stop turns. Usually I play Majin Buu, the green one.
Yeah.
Which is better in almost any circumstance. It's almost better any time. But in this deck, Majin Buu bothers me because you have to discard 1 for the effect to be live. And when you're not drawing that much, the discarding 1 can feel very, very bad, really.
Yeah, I get
With
that
King
part.
Cold, you don't have to discard. And when your opponent doesn't have a big hand because you're removing card from their hand, just the fact that he has to discard even 1 is enough to discourage further attacks. It's like the blue Android 17. When
Yeah.
he's played, it's not much to bottom 1 card from hand, but it's annoying, and sometimes it's enough to stop the turn. So I was like, okay, in King Cold it's almost the same. It's better because it doesn't affect only battle cards. It affects even leader or unison cards. So the effect is really interesting. Another thing is a 15k. So it's better than the Boo. Boo is only 10k. I don't play many battle cards, so even a 15k is better than 10. It feels better. The thing is, it can be a little hard to play. It's impossible to play it early game because you don't have enough unisons. But from turn 4, usually turn 4, it's possible to have 1 unison in board and 1 unison in drop. 1 unison in drop, you can place it with a dormant potential. You can place it with your leader on early game, with the ability of the leader to discard 1. If you see your unisons, it's okay to lose 1 in your drop because then your King Cold will be live easier. And you can discard 1 as well with Meta Cooler. Discard 1, draw 2. So you have ways to put at least 1 unison in the drop and another 1 in board. And then the King Cold, really, it's nice. In this tournament, it did phenomenally good. Almost every time when I played it, the opponent stopped the attack.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I will be considering this at least to try it. At least it's cheap, if anything else. So, final card in the main deck, the SCR. Okay,
Yes.
Bardock. So you also don't usually see this one, because like I'm looking at the list and I'm like, okay, there's some Gohans here with coolers and Raditz. I think when I was going through the list, I was like, okay, we can come to 12, for Cell Xeno, for example, but it's Bardock instead. So I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Why did you go with Bardock?
Um, I was very unsure with my SCR choice. Uh, to be honest, I wanted to play Cellmax. Cellmax, I tried it, I trained with it, and it feels really nice because, as I told earlier, usually people won't keep their negates against end destruction. They want to keep um, useful cards so they can attack or apply pressure. They don't keep negates. So Cellmax can be very effective if you hit turn 4 and you can just kill the opponent, took him off guard. Um, but the thing is, I don't have Cellmax, and none of
Me
my
neither.
teammates. So, okay, I need to think about something else. Usually on this deck, I play the Wicked Science, the green-yellow SCR, because it's a Raditz, so you can find it with the leader. So it's nice to be able to find your SCR. And it's quite nice in end destruction because when you play it, the opponent discard 2, well, it's okay. But I was afraid of red. And this Bardock against red is actually really nice. Sometimes I don't play the Unison on turn 3, I play the Bardock because I know that next turn I'll be much safer. So this is when I have it on turn 3. And if I have it later turns, it's okay because it's a good finisher as well. 40k, double strike, dual attack, switch something in rest mode. It's a good card. It won me 2 games actually during the tournament. So
Nice.
I'm not disappointed with the Bardock. It's a
Nice.
good card.
So, guys, this was the main deck. We've been talking for like half an hour now, so let's just go quickly through. Let's go
Sorry that I took
through.
too much.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I know that like my viewers enjoy these longer deck profiles. It's better, than when someone just tosses like 5 cards and says like, "Oh, I play set of this," and then goes. Let's go through the Z deck first, for example. Yeah, and then we can jump to the side. So in Z deck, like you said, 2 copies of Frieza.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah, 1 Jiren. Like that's pretty
Yeah,
standard. It's like it's currently I think the best green
yeah, one
Z
of the
deck.
best actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last is one surmounting.
Mm.
Yeah.
In
So
the tournament, I only played 1 Frieza in the whole tournament.
wow.
Yeah, so it's like very it's not Zenkai Zenkai style. It's more Unison Warrior style. But yeah, I didn't need any of them really. Either I win without, either I lose without. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's something with green, man. Cause like I play cooler half of the time, unless I'm cheating my golden Frieza in. I forget that I even have a Z deck. Like half of the time I'm playing green, I'm not even using it. So
Yeah, I know, I feel it.
yeah, so let's go over the side deck finally. Oh, okay, some of them are already revealed here. So one more copy of Dormant. So this is just fixing ratios from what I'm seeing.
Exactly.
One Dormant.
Dormant, Goku Deflection, and Cell Kamehameha,
Yeah.
they all come to main deck against red. So more defense. Because as I said, the goal is to survive. So defense.
Then we have 3 copies of Urgent Aid Kami. Yeah.
I use it for Golden Frieza mainly.
Yeah.
It's okay.
2 copies of Fused Zamasu. It is red for even more hand destruction. I love this one.
Yeah, usually I side it for blue games because they have trouble dealing with indestructible. It's useless against red and yellow, I believe. But against blue, it's okay.
Then 1 copy of Kakunsa, Beastly Maiden.
Kakunza is for Gohan Beast.
For Gohan Beast. Yeah.
Only for this one. Well, it can be useful against other cards, of course, but I side it for blue games. Yeah.
3 copies of Koitsukai. Oh, this card is great. This card is great. I love it so much. And finally, 2 copies of the newest Rebrand promo. This, I like this one. It's like if you're not running Fated Rivals and you need like barrier removal, it's great.
I could use a Fated Rival because I have a lot of Saiyans in the deck, so it's easy to have at least one in the Z energy. But Brian comes in way earlier, especially if you're first player. It's very nice against Trunks Vegeta, yellow Trunks Vegeta. It's very nice against Edge of Destruction. If they play the Babidi on turn 1, then you can kill it right away. So it's quite good against yellow if they try to play Slug very early as well. So you know the Slug that prevents from drawing.
Yeah, the Super Namekian.
So yeah. That's why I use this card in my side deck.
So guys, this is basically it. This is the deck profile. Before we conclude the video, Sylvain, do you have any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to my teammates, the Soul Fusion. We were 5 in the tournament, and we all did pretty good. So very happy. Shout out to Philippe Tarpini. I played against him in round 4. Almost got him. Really almost got him. I have never played actually against Majin Vegeta, and I got tricked. But really, I was confident in the game, and it was a really nice and interesting. And congratulations to him for winning another tournament. This guy is really nice. And a shout out to the Lookout, of course, the Lookout.
Thank you. So, guys, this has been Sylvain. It was awesome having you here, and going through this deck with you. 7th place, top 8 with Raditz, guys. That's like really an achievement in the current era of Dragon Ball. This is like winning the first place, with Raditz.
In your heart.
Yeah,
it's the first.
Yeah. So, guys, this has been the deck profile. This has been Damien from the Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.